It's Subverted Tropes, a podcast about movies, featuring your hosts Daniel Spencer and Kate Harlow. Welcome to Subverted Tropes.
My name is Kate.
My name is Dan.
And today we are talking about another one of our mystery picks this year. This one was picked for us by our good friend Sean Osborne, and his pick this year is the 2017 instant classic Get Out.
Indeed. I was very excited when I first heard about it, but never found the time to actually go see it, because for a long time I just didn't go see movies in theaters because I was a pretentious ass.
I didn't go see a lot of movies in theaters because I didn't have a lot of money for that kind of thing. So, Dan, can you tell us a bit about Sean's previous picks for your movie marathon?
I certainly can. Sean's previous picks have been really great movies, almost all of which were foreign. He's picked Guillermo del Toro's Devil's Backbone, House at the End of Time, I think another one, and then also has picked, last year he went with, I can't remember the name of it. It was a really good Asian horror movie.
All right, that's fair. Ring You.
It was not Ring You.
It was Ring You.
It was not.
It was Ring You.
You weren't even there.
All right, so when I say classic, I mean because this movie is a work of goddamn genius. If I didn't already know quite a bit more about the plot and creation, I honestly would not have gotten into the research and would have left myself the luxury of being totally surprised by all of it, because I know based on reviews alone that it's amazing. That said, I had already read up on it prior to it being released, because I hate spoilers and I get very cranky about people ruining things for me, so I usually go out if I feel like I know I'm going to be assailed by spoilers, and I go out and find them myself because it's on my terms.
I think that's fair.
Up front, spoilers. This movie is under a year old as of today's recording date, October the 9th of 2017. There will be spoilers. In discussing the movie, we are going to have to discuss some of the plot elements. If you haven't seen it and you don't want us to ruin it for you, this is the time to stop listening. Come back and visit us after you've enjoyed this amazing movie.
If you didn't enjoy this movie, you're wrong, and I don't want to drive with you.
Just get out of the car now. We're not going to stop the car. You can tuck and roll.
That's right.
But there are going to be spoilers. I'm going to try not to be blatant about it. I'm not going to be like, remember that part where Blanche Dubois ruins everything?
No, that was in our other movie tonight.
Yes. But we're discussing a movie that was released this year, and in discussing the tropes, we're ultimately going to have to just mention the plot, and we're likely going to have to mention what makes it so spooky. Spoilers ensue. You have been warned. Don't at me. So, you've been warned. Get Out is written, co-produced, and directed by Jordan Peele. It marks his directorial debut, and it is a step out from his normal genre. He is best known as a comedian.
From the fantastic show Key and Peele.
Yes.
That he worked on with Keegan-Michael Key.
Yes. Though he did state that he felt like the beats and moments that he found to be natural in comedy were similar to the same beats and moments that he found to be natural in horror. So he felt a very easy transition from one to the other.
I can very much understand that. I think the
pacing.
The pacing of comedy and horror, since you're trying to elicit a surprise reaction for both of those genres, it makes sense to me that the beats would coincide.
Yeah, they naturally go in the same direction, I think. The film stars David Kaluuya, Allison Williams, Bradley Whitford, Caleb Landry Jones, Stephen Root, Lakeith Stanfield, and Catherine Keener. It follows a young interracial couple who visits the mysterious estate of the woman's parents, uncovering a conspiracy whereby older white people are up to some serious shit. Do you see how good that was? I danced right around that.
You did.
No spoilers. The two leads were cast in October of 2015, with the rest of the cast being put together between December and February following. The filming took place and was filmed in Fairhope, Alabama for 3 weeks. It was supposed to be in LA, but budget differences changed that. It was not planned to be that way.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Filming was planned for 3 weeks. They filmed it in 28 days total. They got an extra week.
So they got 1 week more than Teen Wolf.
It made all the difference.
Yeah.
No, wait, also it had everything to do with the writing and directing and cast.
And yep, pretty much everything was better with this.
All of it. Literally all
I
of it.
would say I think the werewolf makeup in Get Out was a little questionable.
It left me wanting, and yet I didn't feel like it was missing.
I guess that's fair.
The film had a budget of $4.5 million and grossed $253 million. Being this year, I didn't have to do any converting. It's all the same money.
Beautiful.
There was another ending filmed. This one with Chris being arrested for the murder of Rose and her family. But at the time that filming began was also around the same time that a series of very high-profile police shootings were happening in America. Because as we have stated before and will likely continue to state, our country has a lot of room for growth.
Yeah.
And Jordan Peele felt that it was really necessary to give the film a happier ending, to give it some hope.
I think that's very fair, and I honestly did not think that there was going to be a happy ending to the movie with the way that it was going.
And that was another thing. It came out to be a surprise ending.
Yeah.
The way it turns out. The soundtrack was specifically constructed to have distinctly black voices and cultural references, but Peele was also very conscious in wanting to avoid having too much of a voodoo motif. The singing that you most specifically hear at the very end, all of that is Swahili.
Oh, okay. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. The only word, I don't want to say American, the only American English word in that song is the word brother, which he didn't specifically write it, but he encouraged that to be used because he felt that the word brother has a universal translation in African American and black culture.
Yeah.
So Jordan Peele has always wanted to write a horror movie. He specifically wanted his feature film debut to be a horror movie because of Night of the Living Dead.
Ooh, Night of the Living Dead is so good.
Because the original had an African American protagonist.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, the original Night of the Living Dead was very much a commentary on racism, among other things.
He was inspired to write this specifically because of a joke found in the Eddie Murphy stand-up special Delirious from 1983. Murphy jokes about horror films, specifically citing The Poltergeist from 1982 and The Amityville Horror from 1979, asking why white people don't just leave when there's a ghost in the house, joking that as he's showing his wife around a beautiful house, if he heard a ghost whisper, "Get out," he would immediately tell her, "Too bad we can't stay, baby." Peele repeats this joke in the DVD commentary if you listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. It's been a long time since I've seen Delirious, but yeah, it is a great bit.
Eddie Murphy was actually supposed to. He was chosen to play Chris. I don't know if that means that he was actually asked to play Chris, or if he was just that they had bookmarked as their specific ask or get. But Peele changed his mind when he decided that Murphy was too old to play the role that they wanted.
Huh. Interesting. I do remember there was some backlash about Daniel Kaluuya being picked for the role, particularly from Samuel L. Jackson, because Daniel Kaluuya is British, and Sam Jackson felt that for a movie that was so much about racism in the U.S., that he felt like that was not very good. But I do remember Kaluuya's response was basically something along the lines of, I'm dark-skinned. I still face the same stuff.
And also, the thing about Kaluuya was that he nailed his audition. He was asked to do one specific scene, and it didn't say which scene in the research that I did, but if I had to guess, I would guess that it's the one where he's interacting with Rose's mother in the night when she's hypnotizing him. He had to do a scene where he has to go through a whole range of emotions and he has to cry. And at one point he had to cry, and specifically what they really wanted was like the one single tear
at one point, and he hit it every time, one tear at the exact same point every time, 5 times in a row.
Damn.
Yeah. He's really good.
That is amazing.
And
I'm sorry. You did a really great job, but you only got that tear 4 out of 5 times. We're
gonna call Samuel L. Jackson and just CGI in that tear.
It'll be great. I'm sorry, you got 2 tears. We gotta let you go.
I would venture to say I'm certain that he must have seen it by now. I think Samuel L. Jackson would have to agree that he's good. He's real.
Oh
good.
yeah, Daniel Kaluuya was amazing in this movie.
Brilliant. He was super brilliant. If you don't recognize him from his other acting credits, go watch Black Mirror. The episode that he's in from Black Mirror is amazing. He's so good.
I need to see Black Mirror.
You haven't? Oh.
I haven't seen a single thing in Black Mirror.
God, it's so good. It's your jam.
I know.
As far as other casting, the actress who plays the girlfriend, Rose, Allison Williams, Peele said that she was cast because she reminded him, and this is a quote, of someone you knew and had a crush on when you met them at summer camp. And that was the quality for the character that Rose Armitage really is.
That is, I think, spot on.
Yeah, I think it's exactly that. The score, which we had discussed, the score was composed by an orchestral composer named Michael Abels, who'd never worked on a film before.
Dang.
He specializes in traditional concert music. He takes influence from African music, jazz, and blues. And Peele found him on YouTube, of all places.
You know what's crazy to me is how many actors and particularly comedians recently have been getting their start on YouTube. It's very impressive to me.
Peele said he listened to one of Abel's compositions called Urban Legends and thought, this guy could terrorize some people in this movie.
I like it.
The cinematic poster for the movie, it's a stark black and white poster. It's a close-up of Chris's face, and it's his eyes specifically. It's an inverted reference. It references a French film, La Haine. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I didn't take French. Come at me. It's from 1995. Both films have contemporary examinations of cultural appropriation, marginalism, and racism.
Ooh.
The layers on this film are so deep. There's so much to unpack. So much so that this film literally has created college courses to study how much is there.
This reminds me, honestly, of I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be the guy. This reminds me of like the good old days of cinema, when every single shot and everything you could see in that shot, the angle, everything was so deliberate and planned out, start to bottom. It reminds me very much of Hitchcock.
Yeah, absolutely.
His stuff was amazing, and I want to see so much more horror from Peele now.
I would say anything from Peele. Anything
yes.
he's got. Anything
and he's got
he
a whole bunch of
forward.
stuff planned.
Yeah.
Based off the success of this, he announced a lot of stuff, including a lot more horror. And I am very here for it. Jordan Peele, make more horror.
Make anything you want. Anything you want. Call me. The film has so impressed so many people.
Hold on. Did you just tell Jordan Peele to call you?
Like you wouldn't answer if he called you.
I mean, I would, but I'm going to edit that out. He's not going to. No. Girl, I don't want to lose you to Jordan Peele.
I'm not saying I would leave. I'd invite him in.
Oh.
This movie so impressed so many people when it came out. Chance the Rapper bought all of the tickets in all of Chicago so that people could see the film for free. He tweeted about the film absolutely incessantly. He went crazy. But one of his tweets, he said, just pull up with an ID and enjoy the movie.
That is so amazing.
Yeah. And it wasn't just there, like all over the country. People wanted it to be accessible. Due to the success of this film, Jordan Peele is the first African American writer and director to earn more than $100 million.
Really?
Yes.
That is impressive.
But at the same time, man, guys, come on. America, do better. That shouldn't be an amazing thing. That shouldn't be remarkable. In this day, in 2017, that shouldn't be a big deal.
Agreed, but I love seeing that that's happening, and I really hope that inspires a new generation of filmmakers.
Yes. Yeah. Ooh, I'm going to mess this up real bad.
It's all right.
Yasuhiko Oyamaya, who plays Hiroki Tanaka. Okay. The Japanese man at the garden party. He's not actually an actor, but he's actually a noted karate master. When the casting for the secondary characters went local in Alabama, reminder, because they had to relocate.
Alabama.
They had trouble finding an older Japanese actor in Alabama. Go figure.
I feel like he had to be so excited when he found out that the scene that he's in is a fight scene. And then he's not one of the fighters.
Omaya is actually the father-in-law of Peele's friend Ken Mariano and lives in Birmingham.
What?
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
So, that's gotta be one of those like, hey Dad, can you do me a favor? Not even hey Dad, sir, as your wife's husband, can you do me a favor for my friend who's making this little movie? It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, look, Pops, we need you to just real quick be in this one scene and ask a very racially insensitive question.
But actually, I couldn't find the article because I read it months ago. There's a really, really fascinating article about how having a Japanese man in that scene, like at the whole garden party scene, is not actually an example of allyship. It's like a double negative. It's fascinating. Mm-hmm. I mean, again, not just the layers of detail and like how much you can pull out of it in watching, but like the specificity. Oh God, I can't even. There's just so much about it. There is a very specific director's signature in the character of Chris's best friend Rod, that he is a TSA agent. Jordan Peele is notorious for writing sympathetic TSA agents. He did it all the time on Key and Peele. He is very outspoken about the fact that he thinks that they are unfairly villainized for doing their jobs, even though they're shitty jobs.
That's amazing.
I think it's kind of adorable.
I just love, like, there's so many jobs that you can file that under. I just love that he's so tuned in to TSA agents and is just like, I'm gonna speak up for him.
Yeah.
While also speaking up for significantly, not that TSA agents, obviously, yes, they are unfairly treated sometimes, but also he's making significantly larger statements with his movie that I think it's just a funny dichotomy to me of, I'm gonna have this movie that's gonna be a
huge statement.
A huge statement about racism, and also let's make sure that we're treating our TSA agents well too. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Just remember, love everybody. But seriously though, like, love everybody. Mm-hmm. Except for Nazis.
Yeah, I mean, well, and that's part of the thing. Part of the huge message about this is about Peele said it specifically at a Q&A session. It's about slavery, and it's about false allies. It's about those people who are so nice, and they think that they're doing such a great job and being helpful, and they're not helping. And it's something that I am constantly paranoid about is, am I actually helping? Am I doing the right thing? Because I don't want to turn into that person who's just like, oh yeah, I totally would have voted for Obama again. But no, seriously, guys.
Can we get him back, please?
Please.
No,
you know what? Justin Trudeau. Can Canada just
also Justin Trudeau.
Just come on down, guys. Come on down. Please.
Some good people in office, please.
Please. No, but it's so, there's so much to discuss about this film that we can't even begin to really dig into everything that's there. There's just so much. One other thing, there is a cameo, not really a true cameo, from Jordan's longtime partner, Keegan-Michael Key, when Rose is seen on her computer searching for upcoming basketball players. The search term that she goes for and the pictures that show up are of Keegan.
Which is just amazing.
The browser that is frequently used by, God help them, everybody's searching. We don't know why. They're all using Bing.
It's like it's a town full of dads.
Hey, my dad uses Google.
I wish I could say the same. No, I'm kidding. He uses Google now, but for a while he was into Bing.
Well, as we mentioned before, Daniel Kaluuya, he was on an episode of Black Mirror. His character on Black Mirror was named Bing.
Amazing.
So that's where that came from. There is one scene where his character wanders outside in the middle of the night, and the groundskeeper character comes running at him full speed and takes a sharp turn. After the film came out, people started doing what they called the Get Out Challenge, where they come running at him at full speed and take a sudden turn. While he has been filming the Black Panther, his castmates took turns taking the Get Out Challenge. They filmed all of them, and they went up on Lupita, I'm going to pronounce her name. Lupita Nyong'o's Instagram. And when Jordan was on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, he did the same thing to Fallon.
That's so glorious. I love that idea.
But it's such a brilliantly crafted movie, and there's just so much to unpack that I'm not going to pretend like I even can.
Yeah, and I think it's a very complex, layered movie.
It requires several viewings, I think.
Cannot wait to watch this movie again and pick up on so much other stuff.
We should mention we had a double feature tonight. We are very tired.
It's almost 1:00 in the morning. I'm very sleepy, so my brain no function. But I know that on rewatching, I'm going to pick up on a lot of stuff that I missed, and I'm very excited to do that.
I'm also very excited to go back and dig up some of the articles that I read at the time, because I know now having even more context, it's going to be even more enriching to read those.
Yeah.
Let's discuss some tropes.
Okay.
Paranoia as an overall concept.
Yeah, I think there's that. One of the things I really like about this movie is that it doesn't have a whole lot of tropes, I don't think.
I don't think so, no. I mean, it does not stray into the world of campy in any sense at all. It's so well handled.
There is your partner's been in on it the whole time.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Overweight funny friend.
Overweight funny friend. Most of his funny lines were 100% improvised.
Oh, of course they were. I am unsurprised.
Animal motifs. They hit the deer on the way to their house, and then there are taxidermied deers in the house. There were actually a bunch of deer statues throughout the house. And then when they get there, the father, Dean, goes on a bizarrely aggressive rant about how he hates deer. He feels like they're taking over.
I mean, I feel like that was... I'm not even going to say... it was not subtle metaphor.
Yeah. But it does make the fact it does make Dean's death that much more poetic.
Yes. Oh God, that felt so good to watch.
Yes. There's the bait and switch ending where the flashing lights of the cop car pull up and you think Chris is in trouble, but it's just Rodney.
Yeah. Rod.
In his fucking TSA car.
God, it's so good.
Amazing.
You've got the extremely creepy brother is creepy and a creep, and sorry to, I think, Caleb Landry Jones, I think is his name. Mm-hmm. But God, that guy is unfortunate looking.
He looks like a lost Culkin brother. He really does.
He really does. He looks like someone ran Macaulay Culkin nowadays through a meth filter, like through the filter of a meth addict.
There is the complete and total irony that Chris actually has to pick cotton to save his life.
That is, I think,
It's
one of
so,
the best points of the movie. And by points, I mean like
brilliant. It's just
point of the movie.
Yeah. I do want to take a moment to mention amazing performance from Stephen Root. As always, just
oh yeah, fantastic. Stephen Root's an amazing character actor.
He's just an amazing character actor, and so much so that he's one of those guys that I always forget his name, and I feel guilty about that, but it's just how my brain works.
Yeah. Because
I remember him as characters more than I remember him as an actor. So when he shows up in things, I'm like, oh, he's here. He's that guy at every party that I'm always excited to see, and I don't know his name.
Yes, that's such a great way of putting it. He's fantastic. Although I just constantly wanted to make stapler jokes the whole time he was on screen.
This actually, it's they don't mention it, but this movie is actually like a 20 years later after Office Space. He burned the building down. There was some damage to his corneas from ashes. It took a while for the damage to be permanently done. But
They could always burn the building down. But yeah, I think that's probably going to do it for this episode.
Yeah, our production assistant Ripley is here, already asleep.
Yep, and we're going to be joining her shortly.
She's done.
But this movie was absolutely phenomenal. I had high expectations and it exceeded them.
Absolutely exceeded them. You might have noticed we have a beautiful new logo. It was made by our very, very dear friend, Grace Bolland. You can find her on Instagram and on Etsy. She is A Fandom Doodler. She is incredibly talented. I think I already said that. I'm going to keep saying it because she's so great and she is so sweet and so wonderful.
I believe her Etsy shop is That Crazy Princess.
Yeah, something like that. We posted it. It's on our Twitter.
We'll be putting it on our blog as well. You can find our Twitter at Subverted Tropes.
Our blog is subvertedtropecast.wordpress.com. You can send us any emails, suggestions, comments, whatever you got at subvertedtropecast@gmail.com.
And we'll be happy to hear from you. So yeah, just give us a shout. Let's talk.
You can find us on iTunes, Podbean, and Stitcher. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and rate. And don't forget to tell your friends.
Thank you very much, guys.
Have a good night.
We're going to get some sleep.